You're welcome back. Right now, we are shifting gears on the conversation to the realities of our time, and that's talking about the Yuletide season and how we can all navigate the harsh economic condition of the country to at least have some semblance of meaningful celebration of Christmas and New Year. We all know the economic situation of the country and how Nigerians have been battling with so many economic policies of the government since the beginning of the year. But what kind of Christmas should we have in such a way that in January we won't be stranded when it is time for us to pay our rent or pay school fees? How should we moderate our spendings during this Yuletide season? We have joining us this morning Leke Ogundimu. Leke Ogundimu is a business development expert. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much, my brother.
And compliment of the season.
Wishing you same
From your
here.
Dressing, I see you're already in the mood
of
for
course,
dirty December.
Yes. Of course, yes. A dirty December, but not a very clean January.
Okay, looking at the economic realities of our time now, we have seen different policies of government, right from the removal of fuel subsidy and a lot of things. You know, we have managed to navigate through the murky waters of our economy this particular year. Ideally, should Nigerians be hopeful for a good Christmas or a good December?
Being hopeful for a good Christmas is something that is not realistic.
Oh my God.
If only we are willing to deceive ourselves and speak from the lips of the seats. However, what we have at the moment should be the reality of the time and of the day. It's exactly what we should plan on and work with. That there's going to be any miracle between today and the next 2 days would be similar to that of Samaria in the days of Jesus Christ, when he said, look, by this time tomorrow, the shekel of whatever you're buying for 2 naira will be sold at, 50 kobo. But from the realities, as that word implies, reality, we don't see anything changing anytime soon. So the best we can do is to work with whatever it is that is currently available in our hands and within our reach.
So working with what is available and what is within our reach, a lot of Nigerians, they always want to go out of their way to impress their neighbors, to impress their friends, and of course, buy a lot of things. Like I did say earlier, a lot of buying and selling will be taking place during this season. Realistically now, what should we do?
Okay, so realistically, what I would advise Nigerians to do is basically to prioritize our spending. That's number one. If you don't have a need for something, do not go to the extent of borrowing, getting money from all the apps that are currently available for borrowing, that lends you, quick cash and all that. Don't go an extra mile. Prioritize your spending and spend wisely. 2 things I've said there. Prioritize. And if you must spend wisely. Number 2, embrace the possible social gathering and shared celebration. Social gathering and shared celebration. What do I mean? So different estates these days now have a way of creating funds within the estate for children. Okay, so Children's Day, Children's Party, let your children partake in that. When it's time for the adults, go there, celebrate with them, and to the best of your knowledge, you do not have to bring out extra pound, or break the banks to make that happen. Just celebrate with people, socialize with them, be happy, and give thanks to God that you are alive at least. Of course, there is hope. When you asked that question earlier, you said realistically, between now and Christmas, there is hope. Right? But the time frame is what I am trying to avoid when I speak from the angle of is there hope? There is hope. Because in recent time, we've seen...
Because after Christmas, we are going to celebrate the New Year.
Of course, yes. And there is hope in the New Year. You know the reason why I said so? Now, I'm aware, I've had a conversation with owners of filling station in recent time between... today is Wednesday, right? Between Saturday and now.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday, yes. That's what I'm saying. Between Saturday and now. Today is Monday. Now, I overheard the owner of a particular filling station in Lagos saying fuel prices are going to drop.
Yeah, it was even in one of the dailies that we read earlier today.
So
now, it's now 9.35, according to Ipman.
God bless you. 9.95. And a particular filling station, MRS, I saw that on the dailies yesterday, had dropped theirs to about, was it? 9.45 or 9.55.
Ademigbe confirmed. She confirmed it.
Beautiful. So now that's a beacon of hope in a way, if we all accept it the way it is. But I'm now saying that looking at it between now and Christmas, we might not be able to establish a fact that there's going to be anything or any major difference. But in the long run, definitely, there's going to be price war. And when there is price war, okay, so somebody is importing something from a foreign land, another person is refining here.
Locally.
And by the time you look at it, the one that is being imported, considering all that it takes, the logistics, and the financial implication of taking our fuel over there, bringing it back, hasn't been refined. And here, our results to say that the one we are refining from a foreign land is becoming cheaper compared to what we are locally refining. So with this price war, I can assure Nigerians that with time, these things will fall. The prices will crash. And the price of the fuel at the pump price will further reduce.
Just like we had in the telecoms sector.
At the point, some people were selling a SIM card for 105,000, 120,000. But when, not so many people could afford it at about that time. But when Global came around, they crashed the market. There was serious price war. And nobody could help but bring down their prices so that they can continue to thrive in the market.
All right. There will be pressure from children to fathers, from children to mothers, and of course from wives to their husbands. So what kind of plan in terms of spending should a husband as the head of the family put in place, or a mother to a child, in such a way that you will not compromise those values that you are going to engage yourself in come January? Because children will come to you, Mommy, I want to buy this, Daddy, I want to buy that, we need to slaughter chicken, we need to buy rice, we need to buy soft drinks.
Okay, the situation of the country is not something that is oblivion to our children, truth be told. All right? If you look at it, the children around the world these days, they are more aware of the economic mire than even some parents. You know why? Every minute they are in the house, they listen to their parents talk. They see their father engage their mother. So they know that things are really hard at this time. However, one thing it behooves the parents to deliver that is sacrosanct for a parent to ensure that is on the table is food. If you're able to
Nikki, I'm sorry to cut you in.
Yes.
I'll take my question to Joy and Adebimpe now.
Okay.
Women, they know how to put pressure on men. And my neighbor is slaughtering so number of chicken, live turkey, and so on and so forth. What should a man do this time to survive the pressure of these women?
Oh, I would answer from the scripture. A wise woman.
Oh my God. Scripture again.
Yes.
Realities of our time, Joy.
I know. A wise
There's
woman.
nobody in town.
Your husband is not your neighbor's husband.
Ajibola, I'm not even.
I don't put pressure on my husband.
I'm not quoting from.
You're one in a million.
I'm not quoting from the scripture, but a wise woman who wants peace in her home will not put pressure on her husband that, my neighbor, what's your business with your neighbor? So if your neighbor dies tomorrow, your husband should die tomorrow. What's that?
That's good, coming from our women.
Yes.
Okay, another angle to this, celebrating this Yuletide season and, of course, navigating the harsh economic condition is the scarcity of cash. How do we celebrate without cash? And some of these networks, they have been very, very epileptic.
Okay, it's simple. You see, one of the things I've come to realize in Nigeria is that certain things they are fast becoming trends.
Okay.
Right? So in the last 3 years or thereabouts, you'll find that this is becoming a trend. Every December, there is always an announcement about scarcity of what? Of cash. And I mean, aside from the fact that they are announcing that, there is a reality that backs it up, that there is scarcity of cash. Now, what's the reason for the scarcity of cash? Why was there cash in January, February, March, April, May, June, July until November? And right about now, December, we are announcing that there is scarcity of cash. Now, the question is, there are some people, I don't know who they are, even if I know, I'm not going to mention, right, who finds pleasure, who derive financial gains from making this happen. At the end of the day, okay, so I'll take, for example, you hardly get into the bank and maybe you're writing a check for them, you need to withdraw some cash from them. No matter how much you're withdrawing, you can't get a new note.
But we see it out there.
But we see it out there in parties where people flaunt, they spend. Now, but you can't get it without you buying it from a particular source. So the question is this: where is the source of the source that you're buying from? So this question goes back to the Naira scarcity. I'm going to be asking, the people that are selling out the Naira to us today, they call them POS operators, right? Now, where are they getting, what's the source of their own source? What are they doing differently that you and I cannot do in the bank? You've got money in the bank, right? So why can't you walk in the bank and get money? Well, you got money in the bank. Why can't you walk to the ATM and be able to withdraw like a normal person? Why is it that the POS operators are getting funds, but you do not have funds? Why is it that they have cash? You do not have cash. So it simply means that some people are being gratified one way or the other. I don't want to mention who they are. I don't know who they are. But something needs to be done fundamentally so that we can unravel those that are behind these evil acts, and put a stop to this negative trend in our country as quickly as possible.
Okay, while we are busy spending for the celebration of Christmas and year 2025, which is a few days or weeks away from us now, people are also engaging in different kind of strategy to save their money. People, they contribute money together to buy foodstuff, to buy pepper, to buy probably a ram or a cow, and they share. Is that a way to go for people to also minimize their spending during this season?
Well, all of those are just, for me,
they form a pool.
Societal fraternity, right? It does not make any sense to me. If you have 10 naira, stay within your limits, spend what you have. You can always get into the market and do your thing without having to associate with other people, right? If you have 20 naira, stay within your limits, spend what you have, so that you don't even create unnecessary enmity for yourself amidst those whom you think are your friends, right? If care is not taken, people would announce themselves out there. When you want to share a cow, for instance, somebody says, I want 1 portion. Let's say what you have in totality is about 10 portions. And somebody is claiming that I want 2. The other person is saying I want 3. Whereas somebody is there who cannot afford more than 1. Even the one he or she is buying, he does not have that money completely. He has to run to Mr. A or Mr. B to get it, completed. And at the end of the day, he's getting into a group where somebody is requesting for 4 portions, where the other is requesting for 3 portions. At the end of the day, he brews a little bit of what I would call animosity. If care is not taken. So for me... If you have and I don't have, yes, or yours is bigger than mine. Of course, yes. I mean, it brings about that. Whether consciously or unconsciously, people find themselves, engaging in animosity, but it is not the best. Why not get into the market? You see, I love the women we have in the house. With what they said the other time, they are the type of women that would shield their husband in time of trouble. And I mean, these are the kind of women I want around. These are the kind of women I urge every woman out there to be. Right. Basically, work within the limits, work within the budget, prioritize your need, and at the end of the day, live a happy life with your family. Your immediate family is the first concern you have. Yourself, even the Bible says, love yourself as your neighbor. What you don't have, don't give out. Don't force yourself. Don't go an extra mile to do what you cannot afford to do. This period, low key is the key word. Even when you are celebrating the death in December. Oh, yeah. Well, people because there will be a lot of social activities this time around. There will be a lot of partying. There will be a lot of shows. And some people have this mentality that I must be at every event. So I must show myself. It's a wrong mentality, bro. It's a very wrong mentality. Why must you be everywhere at this time when there are years to come and you'll be a better person? Look, the future is way brighter than what you have today. The determination today, they say, determination today is gives an assurance of a better tomorrow. So if you're determined, you plan yourself right, you do the right thing, you walk in the right path, you will be able to build a better future for yourself. The America people are rushing to today, some people rushed about 20 years ago, they couldn't achieve it. But right about now, they are going to the United States on a platter of gold. They have visa, they can do anything they want, even without passing through the bushes or through the other, illegal means of traveling abroad. But what am I trying to say today? If you don't have the money to afford a chicken today, it does not mean that tomorrow you cannot afford a cow. What you need to do is to work within your limits, be satisfied and be contented with the little that is available for you. From God, from your husband, from your wife, from whatever source that you have. Maintain it to the minimum and make yourself happy. Be contented, give thanks to God, be happy. Happiness is a thing that comes from within. It's not what you see, it's not what people engage in that brings about happiness. It's a personal thing. And it comes from within. It comes from within. So be happy. See a reason to be happy. And once that is done, you'll be contented. And with that contentment, I tell you, you will celebrate joyfully. Look, if you are unable to go to Silverbird Gallery today, I don't know, mention all the names, LTV8, Father Christmas, and the rest of, there are years to come. If you are living, if you are still alive, they say when there is hope, there is life, right? So when there is life, there is hope. Yeah. So if there is life and there is hope, what you cannot afford now, you can as well go for vacation in the coming years. Abroad, South Africa, go to different places. If the life is there, the hope will come.
Okay, we have said so much about families and, of course, women in particular. Fortunately enough, you're a business development expert. The purchasing power of Nigerians is quite low because of the economic situation. For those women and men with different business ventures out there, the impact of this low purchasing power of Nigerians, how can they navigate it in such a way that they'll be able to make some sales during the season?
Beautiful. What they need to do is to identify their USP. We call that unique selling points. Now, for every market everyone displays, even LTV as an organization, there are shows that sells better than some other shows. Now, put in your effort, put in your energy into that particular thing you have identified to be your USP, gather every of your momentum into it and push it vigorously. All right? That's the best way to go at this time. Do not delve into several things at a time, thinking that if this does not work, this is going to work. No, this is not the book of Luke that says, cast your bread upon the waters. After many days, you will find. You're not going to find anything if care is not taken. So look at it strategically. What is it that works for me at this time? Work with that particular thing, put in your effort, push in your energy, and you get the best of results. You see, it's unfortunate. I was speaking to one of my boys recently, who happens to be a part dealer, a neighbor boy, and he said, Honorable, do you know what? I said, no, I don't. He said, the 5 million, 10 million that we take to the market before, that will have to bring a truck. He said, right about now, it is Marwa. You are spending the same amount. I'm talking about the purchasing power.
But what about the value?
There is no value. There is no value. Even if they have the purchasing power is there, the value for money is no longer there. So, I mean, people are wailing. People are getting out of businesses. But I just still want to say there is hope, because there's light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know how that hope is going to come. We don't know where it's going to come from. But I want to believe that some of the policies that are currently ongoing at the top there will bring about hope at the end of the day.
So what kind of 2025, as we begin to wrap up this conversation now, are we likely to have, looking at the budget presented by Mr. President?
Yes. Given the budget presented by Mr. President, if followed to the latter, the 2025 should be a very good year. It should be a year of opulence for Nigerians. Should they follow that budget to the latter and expend what is written on every different thing for what it is meant to be? What have I said? If you have said to us that you are buying 10 cups in the studio, let us have 10 cups in the studio. Do not divert funds at the end of the day from A to Z. Right, and I mean, one thing I want to say, if Mr. President can hear this by any chance, the billions of naira Nigerians are hearing, given the hardship that is currently in vogue, I mean, that is currently affecting everybody, is something that annoys, it's something that baffles everybody. Somebody keeps spending billions of billions. I mean, my question someday, when I read through the dailies and I saw 6-point-something billion or 600-something billion for renovation. I mean, I've been asking myself, what is the value of the house itself? I mean, I know what 600 billion, if I engage Julius Berger today, and I can hand them over 600 billion, I don't even know, 600 billion naira. Right? I know what that thing could bring to place from scratch. So if somebody is selling us today, that we are spending 600-something billion naira to renovate. Whereas people are out there, stampede every now and then, people are begging for food on the street, even people who have once been what do they call it? They call them breadwinners. They are no longer able to give themselves the bread. How much more giving to other people? People are being incapacitated on daily basis, stampede everywhere, in Onitsha, Anambra, Abuja, and then Ibadan. I mean, this is getting on the rise, and somebody is spending billions of naira. I mean, we need, Mr. President, I beg of you, as much as I love you, as much as I support your policies, you need to do something about this. You can't keep spending billions when your people, when the citizens are on the lane of death.
So what will be your advice for Nigerians as we celebrate Christmas?
My advice is that we should all remain low-key, abide within the laws, and not do anything outside the confines of the law. And above all, do not find yourself in a dirty December that will bring about a very clean January. A clean January is such that you have no activity, you have no money, you have nothing to do. Your January is just clean. It's as clean as you are. You don't have anything in your pocket, you don't have anything in your wallet, you don't have anything in the bank. Such January will be referred to as what? A clean January.
Your eyes will be cleared.
Don't dirty your December and then you hand yourself a very clean January.
All right, some words of wisdom coming from Leke Ogundimu, business development expert this morning, as to how we should celebrate our Christmas and New Year. The reality of this time is the fact that there is no money in circulation. So be wise and be prudent the way and manner you spend your money. Like it or not, January will come and you have to pay school fees and house rent. We thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best of Christmas.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being here.
All right, we'll take a very quick break on the conversation right now. When we come back, Joy and Adebimpe will be taking you through the education sector in Lagos State. Dirty or no dirty December, the reality is that you are going to pay school fees in January. Stay with us.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.